Hello, global trade champions. Let's grow together. We've reached a new milestone. Our Trade Wins Today channel now has 3,000 subscribers as of October 15th, 2024. I am deeply grateful for the unwavering support from our early subscribers, viewers, and newcomers alike. Your support has been the driving force behind our efforts to deliver valuable content on international trade. As our channel continues to grow, we remain committed to providing insights and resources that will empower you on your journey in the world of global trade. We are excited to keep sharing knowledge that can inspire and guide you as you explore this dynamic field. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. Now let's dive into today's insightful content. Welcome to this in-depth exploration of Incoterms 2020. Today, we're unpacking the nuances of these essential terms that govern international trade, with a focus on the practical responsibilities and risks associated with different delivery terms. From EXW to DPU, each term we cover will bring clarity to how goods are transported, who holds responsibility, and what insurance requirements apply at various stages. Having a basic understanding of each Incoterm can be highly beneficial. Fortunately, this channel offers valuable contents to support your learning. For you who are looking to refresh your understanding of Incoterms, this video is designed to enhance your grasp of these critical concepts in global trade and to demystify any ambiguous situations you might encounter in your work. After watching this video, be sure to download the PDF material available through the Google Drive link in the video's description and comments. Reviewing the PDF resource thoroughly will greatly enhance your understanding of the content. Under EXW Ex-Works terms in Incoterms 2020, the buyer is responsible for all aspects of transportation from the moment the goods are made available at the seller's premises, which includes loading the goods onto the truck. In EXW, the seller's obligation is minimal. They only need to make the goods available at their factory or another agreed-upon location. The buyer takes on all responsibilities, including loading the goods onto the truck, handling transportation, insurance, export formalities, and all associated risks. Thus, in Ex-Works terms, loading the goods onto the truck at the seller's factory is the buyer's responsibility, not the seller's. Under DDP, Delivered Duty Paid terms in Incoterms 2020, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods to the buyer's specified destination, including paying for all transportation, export and import duties, and handling customs clearance. However, unloading the goods at the buyer's location, such as the buyer's warehouse, is the buyer's responsibility, unless otherwise agreed between the parties. In CIP contract, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods to a specified destination and arranging minimum insurance coverage during transit. However, the insurance requirements under CIP are stricter than those under CIF. Under CIP, the seller must provide insurance coverage that complies with Institute cargo clauses, A, or an equivalent, which offers all risk coverage. This is broader than the minimum insurance under CIF, which typically uses Institute Cargo Clauses C, providing more limited coverage. Key points of minimum coverage in CIP are: 1. All risk coverage means that the insurance policy will cover most risks during transit, except for a few specific exclusions, for example, war, terrorism, or damage caused by poor packaging. 2. At least 110% of contract value. This extra 10% covers incidental costs like delays, unforeseen losses, or other financial impacts of a damaged or lost shipment. And 3, in favor of the buyer, for the benefit of the buyer, ensuring that the buyer can claim the insurance directly if there is a loss or damage to the goods during transit. The minimum insurance coverage required in CIF terms is usually stipulated by the Institute Cargo Clauses C, which provides basic insurance against certain risks like fire, explosion, stranding, or sinking. However, This is limited and does not cover all risks, such as theft, non-delivery, or damage during loading, unloading. Under CIF, the seller must obtain insurance for at least 110% of the contract value of the goods, as per common international trade practices. This ensures that the buyer is compensated with an additional 10% to cover potential costs related to delays or complications in case of damage or loss of goods. While this is the minimum requirement, buyers can request higher levels of coverage, like institute cargo clauses, A or B, which provide broader protection. However, this would typically result in higher insurance costs, which may be negotiated separately. To learn more about cargo insurance and institute cargo clauses, ICC, click the card at the top of the screen to watch the video Risk Management in Foreign Trade. In this slide, we will take a look at when risk transfers during loading and post-loading. Under FOB terms in Incoterms 2020, the seller is responsible for the goods until they are fully loaded onto the ship. This means that if a container falls or is damaged during the process of loading it onto the ship, such as while being lifted by a crane, the seller remains responsible because the goods have not yet been placed on board. Once the goods are securely on the ship, the risk and responsibility shift to the buyer. In this specific scenario, since the container falls before it has been placed on the ship, the seller would be responsible for the loss or damage caused by the incident. We can consider another situation where a container has been fully loaded onto the vessel under FOB terms in Incoterms 2020. If, after the container is placed securely on the ship's deck, it subsequently falls or is damaged, the risk and responsibility have already transferred to the buyer at the point of loading. In this case, since the container was fully on board the ship before the incident, the buyer would be responsible for any damage or loss that occurs after loading, even if the container falls and is damaged on the ship's deck. DPU, delivered at place unloaded, is indeed one of the 11 Incoterms created by the International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, to facilitate international trade. DPU was introduced in Incoterms 2020 as a replacement for DAT, delivered at terminal. The change from DAT to DPU was made to reflect that delivery could happen at any place, not just at a terminal, making it more flexible and clearer in a broader range of delivery situations. Under DAT, the seller was required to deliver the goods to a terminal, such as a port or an airport, and unloading occurred at the terminal. However, this limited the flexibility of delivery locations. With the update to DPU, the place of unloading does not have to be a terminal. It can be any agreed-upon location, such as the buyer's warehouse or another specified point. Let's summarize today's topics. In Ex-Works, I describe the minimal responsibility of the seller, highlighting that the buyer handles transportation, loading, and all associated risks. In DDP, I describe the seller's responsibilities to cover transportation, customs, and duties, while the unloading responsibility can be transferred to the seller by mutual agreement. About CIP versus CIF insurance requirements, the relevant details are outlined, contrasting CIP's requirement for all risk coverage with CIF's more limited coverage. The explanation of the 110% contract value requirement is also presented, as well as the differences in risk coverage. And my explanation of risk transfer under FOB aligns with Incoterms 2020. The distinction between responsibility before and after the goods are loaded onto the vessel is clearly illustrated, accurately reflecting seller and buyer obligations. In the final topic for today, I discuss the transition from DAT to DPU in Incoterms 2020, highlighting the increased flexibility in delivery locations as explained in the slide. It underscores that delivery can now occur at any agreed-upon location, not just terminals, thereby broadening the scope of responsibilities for both the seller and the buyer. Today, contents effectively provide further understanding of Incoterms 2020. Armed with this knowledge, you're better prepared to navigate the complexities of global trade and make informed decisions that align with your business goals. Thank you for joining us. I am Ontact Mind, and you are watching Trade Wins Today channel. Once again, thank you so much for reaching 3,000 subscribers. May your future trade endeavors be more informed and successful.